Welcome back to Yellow Skunk Farms. Quick disclaimer, this is a 21-year-old and up channel, so if you're not 21, please leave the channel now. Appreciate it. You're looking at the new pond garden. This is going to be the food pond garden. If you're new to the channel, this is our indoor regenerative ecosystem we built. This side obviously is for cannabis. This side will be for food. We're going to grow whatever we feel like growing. We got Digger over here somewhere, but I haven't seen him actually since yesterday. I'm not sure where he is. He is our eastern baby box turtle that was rescued. And this is our monster monstera. This is our pond. We got Pooter right there. There's our goldfish. We got Plinko. We've got, there's Scooter and Cooter, our two slider cooter turtles. Plinko is our algae eater that you saw there. There's Shiner, a little Shiner minnow. And we got a couple mollies in there. You see a little baby molly in there. There's a couple other. There's our Shiner. First fish we put in. All of these were babies. Like Pooter was literally like this big when we put him in. We rescued him from a bait and tackle shop around the corner. Guy told me he was a bullhead minnow, and I was like, that's no bullhead minnow. I knew better, and I was like, that's a goldfish. But he just happened to be in there when we needed some stocking fish. We were just putting in minnows just to get it to, get some poo going on. Oh, that worm didn't make it. I remember putting in that worm. Yes, I didn't put. Oh no, wait a minute, it's still living. Is that worm eating? Yes, it is. Look at it. There's another one right there. Tell me them worms can't live underwater. See, what happens is that what I think, I mean, I know I'm no scientist, but I've witnessed this multiple times now where the worms can just be in the creek water. And they really love being right on the edge, right in those roots, right inside those root zone where that grass is, those grass roots. They love being right up in there, all around the edge where it's super moist, but it's oxygenated. So I think that's how they are able to shrimp there, cherry shrimp. I think that's how they're able to survive so long. I don't know how long they can live underwater, but they definitely can live underwater, because he is working that bacteria. There's another one right there, a little baby up underneath there working that. It definitely look. I mean, I know the water's flowing through there. That could be moving, but I swear it was moving. Or is that the creek flowing? One way to find out. Let me adjust my camera here. There we go. We're day 4 of flower, and the stretch is definitely on. Look at this girl right here. She is going to be a monster. She is going to be a monster. The dandelion has surpassed, if you go back to yesterday's video, she was down here. Look how much it grew overnight. took over. It's crazy. It's crazy how fast that thing grew. Look at this. That's a good 2 feet. This girl is just beautiful. She is going to be really nice. I actually got so much newt going, I got some burnt tips there. So we'll just have to lay off the, well, I ain't laying off of nothing really. Won't do no more foliar feeds, that's for sure. Don't need to. She looks super green, super healthy. She's pushed to the max, so to speak. Once I see those little burnt tips there a little bit, I know she's pushed to the max. Plus we've added that red light into it too, so the spectrum has changed. We're going to see a lot of different changes. We've done some defoliation, just picking fingers here and there. That's kind of what I do. I like to just take these fingers. When they get all bunched, I don't like taking the whole leaf. I just want to open it up a little bit. I showed y'all this in just about every video, but this is what I do. This is all I really have to do to thin it out. Just keep, every day, take a finger. That will keep it from getting too crazy. And when it's time to take the whole leaf, we will, but right now we just thin them out. Taking a few fingers. A few a day keeps the harm away, you know what I say? Got a good little smell to her. Sticky too. Let's see if let's check this right now. The worm looks dead. Oh yeah, for sure. That was just a creek moving it. But they do live in that creek water. Oh no, it's alive. I knew I saw that thing moving. We got so many of these things. They're being pushed out. This could be digger food, or let's see if we see digger. I haven't seen him in a minute. Might just throw it in the pond, but you gotta get up underneath here. Usually he's up. Oh, I see him. Yeah, he's way up underneath that, in the cave. Up underneath that rock there, all the way up against the rock wall, but I got my hands full so I can't zoom in. But he's up underneath that cave. You want to see how fast this goes away? Shiner is the big winner. Shiner snuck in the back door. You missed your chance there, Scoot. You ate yesterday. You are not going to get any food today. You can pick on the Monstera root that obviously doesn't care that you ripped it clean or pick it clean. But if you're new, this is a one pump system. Pumps water up out from that corner up there, wraps it around, runs through the creek. The creek is being wicked, water is being wicked up into the soil pockets. So what happens is is that water and critters. See how moist that is? We don't have to water that because it's being wicked up. All these roots will start wicking up this water. I like to pick some algae out every once in a while and throw it into the soil. That algae is photosynthetic, and it creates it does a lot of things. I'm not a scientist, so I hate explaining that stuff. I know in my head what it does, but me explaining it, it's kind of tough because I would pretty much be telling you in layman's terms, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not smart enough or don't have the lingo to explain it to you how it actually works. But I can do it in layman's terms. In layman's terms, what's happening is that oxygen in the water, from all the oxygenation that is taking place inside the pond and the creek, that oxygen is being wicked up into the soil by roots and by the sand and the silt and the clay that's in the creek. Alright, so once all these grass roots take a hold, it will even grow in the creek. See, the grass will grow in the creek. We have to remove a lot of this, but some of it we keep. We also have to pull algae out because the algae will slow the flow, but it's also great food. It's a great way to clean the pond water and the creek water. So by the algae catching the poo, the nitrates and the ammonias and all that stuff, and then it gets transferred up into the grass, up into the soil, where the plants can then tap into the creek wall, tap into all this. This is our 5th run, so we have a really good, the soil has been prepped very well, let's say. So it's cycling nutrients, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to cycle nutrients, and the way we cycle nutrients is by keeping the soil and the microorganisms in the soil moist, wet, not really, to the point where it's a swamp, but then again, it can be as long as it's oxygenated. So just like you make a compost tea, all right, you put an aeration in the water, and you can actually, brew microbes in water. So same concept. We are brewing in the pond with aeration. We're dropping water in the pond, it's aerating. We're dropping water into the creek, it's aerating. We're cycling it through here, which is whenever it hits rocks and different things, it swirls up, it aerates. All this is going to become dissolved oxygen, which is then wicked up into the soil pockets, which keeps the soil aerated itself, keeps air in the water. All right, and that's where the microorganisms are thriving, because microbes need water, they also need air. So this is the importance of aerating your soil. But if you aerate your water all the time, this is what happens. You're going to get a thriving ecosystem. Wherever there's water flowing, wherever it's attached to, and the environment is dialed in. So let's go to the Amazon, where it stays in the 80s and 90s all the time. It stays moist, it stays wet all the time. Plenty of nutrient cycling going on. Everything that you see in the Amazon is super green. And this is just one of the reasons why it is super green, because we have a constant source of moisture and water being aerated all the time, like a compost tea. The grasses and the sands and the silt. Look at this used to be sand and silt, clay, all that. That's now worm castings and organic rich soil that these plants can tap into. All right, then all we have to do is every once a year or so Throw new sand and silt on top of this, let the worms work it. Takes them about 2 or 3 months to work all that, break it all down. But we don't want to overload the system, you know. So look at the pile of worm castings right there. Like, that is just black gold. It's full of nutrient, full of just good things. Nematode, it's the soil food web. So if you don't know what the soil food web is, I highly recommend looking into the soil food web. It changed my life. I mean, it got me thinking and realizing what nature really is and how it works, and we are nature. So the soil is treated like I treat my stomach. Like, I used to have really bad stomach problems. I learned that biology is what runs everything. Biology, microorganisms that we can't, the things we can't see, is what's actually running the show. If we can dial those in and keep those happy, just like in our stomach, and what determines that is what we eat. You know, the biology in the food that we eat. So the better the food, the richer, more nutrient dense the food is, which in order to get that, it has to be grown in nutrient dense soil. So the soil is nutrient dense. This means the plant is nutrient dense. This means the fruit that's coming off the plant is nutrient dense, which means when I eat the fruit and consume those nutrients, it's nutrient dense in my body. Plus the biology in the soil is good, not bad. That transfers into the fruit. That transfers into my stomach. That microorganism, that microbiome, is then going to coat my guts and my intestines and keep me from getting sick. It's that simple. Very complicated, but that's the basics. We keep the soil healthy, we keep it aerated, we keep it watered right. You end up with, we keep the environment right, dial the lights in. You know, there's many different aspects to this, but the basics, environment, kind of like suck, bang, blow, you know. Vehicle, you know, you need air, you need the spark, and then you need a way to exit that air, you know, and the plants do all this for us. The plants are transpiring water into the air. We're catching it with our dehu, putting it right back into the system. Hence the recirculation of air, water, light. And this is what you get when you dial all that in. And what we're doing over here is going to be, like I said, the same thing. We're just going to add another dehu to the back to basically pull that extra water that these plants are going to be transpiring out. The mini split pulls water out. We got plenty of fans in here. We may add another fan. May add another fan over in this corner here, but we have one over here. We may add one over here. You see, we added the hose in here. Here, goes right on up in there nice and tight. It's going to come out right here. Choom. It's going to be coming out of there. I don't know if did I show you guys what I did over here? I just overlapped. I had extra things, so instead of just sealing it, the soil will hold that together and keep it from doing going light water flowing down into those cracks. So this will just keep that from doing that. It has no chance of coming up too high, because if it does get too high, we'll catch it in our trap hole over here. So this is where our trap hole is going to be. We can get the shot back down in there and just suck out water if we need to, but I seriously doubt. We got a nice reservoir there. Today we're just going to concrete these extra rocks in. You can see we put the rocks on the pond wall and some more on the creek. So we have a really deep creek this time. This way we're going to be leveling this, maybe create another waterfall right here, bring it around, maybe another one, little one right here, and then on down into the pond. Soil will be in the center all the way up to the top. We'll bring this rock wall on up, so you can see that we brought this up a little bit, but we can bring it out. So we're going to keep its level here, and then we're going to extend it out here. We're going to stack another rock and create a shelf. We're going to come out here, come out here, out here. This will extend to give us a lot more space here to grow. We can extend it out here as well, give us more space. So we'll have more space than you think. I just had it in down here at the bottom just so we have more walking space, but we can bring the top out as a shelf and extend the growing area. And that's where we're at. So I appreciate everybody hanging out. And enjoy your Wednesday. I do believe, no, is today Wednesday? Today's Thursday. So enjoy your Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.